Narcissistic abuse is not always open and easy to see. Much of it is emotional and mental abuse, and often people do not even know they are being abused. Even after leaving a narcissist, you may experience lingering symptoms. These symptoms are clustered under the term narcissistic abuse victim syndrome. As many victims often do not know what narcissistic abuse is, they may not know what is wrong with them and may struggle to find help. Although the term narcissistic abuse victim syndrome is not a recognized mental health condition, people are starting to use it. The term is an easy way to refer to the cluster of symptoms and severe effects often experienced by victims of narcissistic abuse. Experts acknowledge these symptoms can have a serious and long-lasting negative impact on a victim's life. Following are 11 signs that you may be a victim of narcissistic abuse. You are not yourself anymore. The core person we are mostly stays the same throughout our life. If you drastically are different than who you were before you met the narcissist, you need to take notice. Maybe you don't smile much anymore. You find it difficult to laugh. You struggle to have an optimistic view of the future and may feel as if life is pointless. You don't feel like or do the things you used to love. You may not do hobbies anymore or go out with friends. When out, you often feel uncomfortable and may make excuses to go home as soon as possible where you normally love to socialize. You may also be restless and develop a lot of tension in you. When you don't know how someone will react to you the next time you meet, your mind spends a lot of energy going through every possible scenario and thing they may say. You also develop a lot of tension from having to constantly prepare yourself to face conflict. If your personality and habits are drastically different after you meet a person, it points to that you adjusted yourself to accommodate the other person. If the adjustments are negative, then the person is toxic to you. This often leads to you feeling lost and confused, and as if you are living someone else's life. You struggle to make decisions. Decision fatigue occurs when a person needs to make so many decisions that they eventually do not have the mental power to want to and be capable of making good decisions. This often results in the person just choosing the easiest option even if it's detrimental to the person. With a narcissistic person, your decisions are often criticized or your actions devalued. The person may also explode in a rage or punish you in other ways because they are unhappy with your decisions. Even if you are just deciding to ask a question they do not like. This can cause you to spend so much mental energy trying to make the perfect decision every time that you can suffer from decision fatigue. Constantly hearing how stupid you are, even if it's just given as a joke or backhanded comment, will eventually wear you down. Gaslighting will also make you question your reality and if you can trust your mind. Making decisions takes mental effort. When you do not have the mental capacity to think hard, you try to avoid making hard decisions. This can be to take on a big project or to leave an abusive relationship. Decision fatigue often starts with food choices. You feel too tired to even decide what to eat or make for dinner, so you just stop by the drive-thru. Then it permeates into your life. You know you need to do your taxes or make your budget, but you are mentally just too tired. When under mental stress, we choose to rather do nothing than to take a chance. Researchers found we often need to perceive that the negative consequences of doing nothing must be double that of doing something before we take action. We would rather do nothing and face the negative consequences than doing something and make a mistake. As victims of narcissistic abuse often believe they cannot get someone better or believe they can't support themselves, they believe that to leave an abuser is worse than staying in an abusive relationship. You no longer trust your memory. Gaslighting is an insidious manipulation tactic narcissists use to deny your reality. They use it to avoid taking responsibility for their actions by often denying they ever did something or that something ever happened. The more vindictive narcissists will go so far as to shift objects around or create other situations to make you doubt your memory. They may even bring in other people to confirm the lies of a narcissist. This will cause you to lose confidence in your memory and can eventually drive you insane. It will also affect your entire life, from your happiness to your will to live. If you are constantly being told things did not happen, or you remember things wrong, or that you are hallucinating, then you may be gaslighted. The way to combat it is to keep a journal and take pictures or video recordings to prove to yourself things did happen. Also keep receipts or other proof that what you remember is true. A narcissist will not admit to their abuse, so do not show the proof to them. They may abuse you more because you are keeping record of their actions. The proof is for you to regain confidence in your memory again. You feel isolated. One of the first tactics narcissists employ is to isolate you from the world. This is done by several means. If they have the money, they often tell you that you can leave your job and be a stay-at-home partner. This not only isolates you from friends and co-workers, but also gives them financial control over you. You are now less likely or able to leave them. Narcissists also try to convince you that your friends and even your family are not good for you. This often involves smearing the person's name. The narcissist may lie to you and tell you that the person spreads lies about you, or that the person are jealous about you, or that the person came onto them. Anything to make you not talk to the person again. They often create conflicts and then act as a mediator between you and the other person. All the while, they tell lies to both sides. If that does not work, a narcissist may make scenes in public and embarrass you so that you no longer want to go out. This often takes the form of starting arguments or fights with friends and family. Three of the easiest to start arguments over are politics, religion, and personal choices, such as what the person eats, wears, or drives. When you are isolated, you feel as if you have no support and are less likely to leave a narcissist. You are also less likely to see the reality of abuse, as a narcissist will constantly gaslight you and deny it happened, or accuse you of being oversensitive or overreacting. You will often find that people that do stick around or the narcissist allows you to see supports a narcissist view and will often be the first to tell you not to leave a narcissist but keep making excuses for the narcissist and telling you that you must forgive him. You feel like you're walking in eggshells. Abusive people control and manipulate you by overreacting to things you do and say, often responding with anger, violence, or silent treatments. However, narcissistic people take it a step further by being inconsistent and constantly changing the goalposts. A normal abuser will be happy most of the time as long as you do what they want, but a narcissist will soon get bored and change things up to get an excuse to get upset with you. It is a game for them and they need drama in their life. Yesterday they loved the way you make breakfast. Today they throw it against the wall because it is crap. They always loved the way you look in an outfit. Now you are disgusting to them. Questioning them about anything or disagreeing with them is often met with anger, and whatever they do wrong is often blamed on you. This will eventually cause you to fear saying or doing something that will upset them, which allows a narcissistic person to say and do whatever they want, without there being any consequences. The constant put-downs and invalidation as well as accusations will eventually make you believe you are nothing and may cause you to be grateful for the narcissist staying with you even though they abuse you. You may even believe you deserve it and that they are just trying to help you be a better person. Even if you leave a person, you may have a feeling that you just cannot do anything right and that you are so useless that you deserve to suffer and be alone. You may also find that you are constantly stressed and fearful although you don't actually know what you are fearing. Normal events may stress you out and you may fear upsetting strangers in some way. You may also find yourself making excuses automatically for other people's mistakes. They turned 180 degrees. When you first meet a narcissist, they are often nice and charming. You often fall very hard and very fast with them, and the relationship usually progresses very quickly. It is not uncommon to marry and move in within the first 6 months of meeting the person, if not sooner. This is partly due to a narcissist's impatience and also because they fear you will leave them if you see the true them before you have fallen for them. Once they think they have you, there is no need to keep the tiresome mask up, so they relax and the true them comes out. Sometimes the change is like day and night the moment you marry, the moment you move in together, or the moment you have kids. This is often due to them thinking they have locked you in with a commitment. Other times the change comes on gradually, even from halfway through the first date. Unfortunately, when things come on gradually, you slowly learn to accept the abuse and ignore it until you one day wake up and realize with a shock what has been done to you. People do not change much over time from their core self unless they actively work on themselves. Thus, the big change you see in the narcissist is not them being under stress or faults on your part. It is just who they always were. The abuse leaves you confused. Narcissistic abuse is often very subtle and disguised as jokes or concerns for you. It can take the form of backhanded comments or split-meaning phrases or words. This allows the narcissist plausible deniability, which also allows them to further abuse you when you react by claiming you are oversensitive or overreacting. Often, you cannot put your finger on the actual meaning of what they said or if you were abused or not. All you know is you feel upset or sick after spending time with them. You may have lost weight and are proud of being so healthy. The narcissist may ask you if you are sick as you are so skinny. Have an accident and the narcissist may respond with that you are better off doing nothing as you are so clumsy. Take an extra helping of food or comment that you look forward to dessert and they may question you if it is wise. After all, you are getting a bit fat. They also love to bring up mistakes you have made in the past and embarrass you in front of everyone or make you the target of every joke. All done in good spirit, of course. Yet, you are not allowed to call them out on their behavior. They were only joking after all. They may tell you that you take life too seriously. Unfortunately, when you bring this up with other people, they often say that maybe you perceived things wrongly. This allows a narcissist to get away with their abuse. This also erodes your trust in the people you confide in, or maybe you accept that it is you overanalyzing things or overreacted and the abuse never happened. Feeling helpless and hopeless. Narcissists do not change their behavior just because you are not happy with it. You may start to feel helpless in that nothing you do has a positive effect on their behavior. This may cause you to feel hopeless that you will ever have a healthy relationship with a person. This can make you feel as if you are a failure, and often you can feel as if you are in some way responsible for their behaviors. After all, they were so happy and nice when you first met them. But as you cannot pinpoint how you are responsible and nothing you change on yourself has any effect on their behavior, you may feel as if you are beyond help. You may also constantly have a nagging feeling that you did something wrong or forgot something. Your mind may be milling over and over about what did you do wrong this time. This can make you lose all interest in life and even stop trying to save yourself. You may go through life half zombie-like, just waiting for it all to end. It can be difficult for you to accept that nothing you do can force another person to change, and that you are not responsible for their actions. They chose every action they did and every word they said. They smear your name. Narcissistic people cannot afford you to tell the truth about them. They also need to always look better than other people. You may be shocked to find out that they have been smearing your name from the moment you started to date them. However, when a narcissistic person thinks you will expose them, or when they suffered a narcissistic injury from you, they often take revenge by smearing your name. They aim to get people to not believe you, as well as get as many people on their side as possible, or at least not wanting to get involved. People often gossip, but smearing your name with lies or twisting the truth is a sure sign someone is toxic to you. You develop unexplained problems. Narcissistic abuse has a high toll on your physical and emotional health. Living under constant stress and fear destroys your body. Two of the first symptoms you often develop are anxiety and depression. Other problems you may also experience are sleep and eating disorders, mental fog, constant headaches, muscle aches, constant upset stomachs or stomach pain, constant nausea, insomnia, constant fatigue, and addictions. Addictions often are food or alcohol addictions, but can be gambling, substance abuse, or overspending. Addictions or overuse are often a coping tactic to numb the feelings you have that are caused by the abuse you suffer. You feel guilt enforcing boundaries. People often say victims have no boundaries, but that is not so. They have boundaries because if they did not, they would not feel violated and upset for those boundaries being crossed. If you have no problem with strangers hugging you, then it would not bother you. If you do not like it, then it is a boundary for you. A stranger hugging you out of the blue will upset you. The main problem comes when you try to enforce a boundary with a narcissistic person. They will often overreact and try to find some way to blame you or make you feel guilty for trying to enforce your boundary. This will eventually cause you to feel fearful of enforcing a boundary or feel guilty for doing so. In public, you may often feel uncomfortable with your boundaries being crossed, but may feel guilty for having them and fear you may upset the other person by enforcing your boundary. This comes from a belief that you are not entitled to have boundaries, which you form due to the reactions of a narcissist when you do try to enforce boundaries. What to do? Narcissistic abuse can take many forms. If you suspect you have suffered or are suffering from narcissistic abuse, then start to learn more about it. Type exactly what you feel and what has happened to you into Google or YouTube and start to learn about it. The more you understand, the more you will realize it was not you. Your mind will also start to rest, because once you know how you were abused, it can form a plan to avoid it. You will also need to distance yourself as far as possible from your abuser or limit the amount of contact you have with your abuser. There are several tactics you can use as a short-term solution to help you cope if you are still with your abuser. But realize none are effective long-term, as the narcissist will find other ways to get to you emotionally or may just start to physically abuse you. Seek out a therapist who is experienced in dealing with victims of narcissistic abuse. Not all therapists have the knowledge and experience, so you may need to shop around a bit. Ultimately, only you can save yourself. No one is coming to rescue you. You need to decide to rescue yourself and need to decide to heal from the abuse. It is unfair and hard work, but you are worth it and deserve a healthy and loving relationship and a wonderful life filled with happiness, prosperity, and love. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, please like and share it so that more people can benefit from it. If not subscribed, please subscribe now by clicking the seductive red button. As reward for subscribing, you will get more informative videos about narcissistic abuse. Please leave a comment as it helps to expand the information covered in the video, which may be of benefit to others. Also check out my books on narcissism by following the links in the description. Thank you.